I started yelling for help.
When you heard those victim impact statements during the sentencing, what was going on in your head?
Well, it tore my heart out. I mean, the whole time, my whole focus is always victims, and that's been a big part of the reason why I became a police officer.
Count 1, terrorism causing death. Sentence of the court is that defendant shall serve life without the possibility of parole.
Some justice came this year in the sentencing of the Oxford shooter, life in prison without parole, a testament in part to the painstaking work of Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard's investigators.
It was very taxing, both in terms of resources and emotionally for our team, because there are people in our corrections facilities that had kids in Oxford High School on that day. So to have that person in their face literally every day for 2 years drained them emotionally and professionally on so many levels. They did their job amazingly.
And now the shooter out of the Oakland County Jail in the hands of Michigan Department of Corrections, a relief for jail staff who monitored his solitary confinement in the medical area of the jail for 2 years.
They knew that if they didn't dot every I and cross every T, there would be such scrutiny to this, they didn't want to fail. Failure was not an option on getting things right. And so they were tireless, they were dogged in their attention to detail. They wanted to get it right. They wanted to hold the shooter accountable. They wanted to give some measure of closure to the victims and the families.
Another headline that got international attention out of Oakland County, a ring of Chilean nationals working like trained military professionals, targeting the highest end homes in Oakland County. They're after cash, jewels, and purses.
We think tens of millions of dollars have been taken out of Oakland County just in September. And the deeper I got into it, the more I knew that this was going to be a challenge like we had never seen, where you have international criminals coming here specifically targeting your area.
Bouchard says intelligence suggests 100 teams of Chilean nationals are operating in the U.S. right now, trained in Chile and getting into the U.S. through the visa waiver program.
All 7 that we have now criminally charged were from Chile and had violated the visa waiver program. And so the federal government can shut that program down with a stroke of the pen. That means they can still come and visit from Chile, they just have to get a visa, which is a higher level of scrutiny. Right now they can apply online, which they are, and get here and go off-grid immediately, which they have. Fraudulent identification, which they obtain very quickly because they've been taught that in their training, and off they go, and they move from town to town across America, and then they circle back and do it again.
As investigators continue to play whack-a-mole there, better news to report out of Pontiac, where this year Sheriff Bouchard says a drop in shootings and homicides.
We knew a small number of people were involved in a large number of shootings in Pontiac, and that's what helped us bring those numbers down. We targeted very specifically people that were pulling the trigger. We worked with the ATF, who we have a great partnership with, charged some federally. We've done some really good things on the violent crime side. Up, over. Good boy.
To round out the year, Sheriff says he's expanded his ranks in the canine category. They now have 13 of these Cavalier King Charles Spaniels, comfort trauma dogs. Max assigned to the sheriff, the other dozen go home with deputies.
These pups have been amazing inside and outside of the agency. You can just see it take down the tension and the anxiety in the situation for our people and whoever they meet. And when it's time to retire, we sell them to the handler for $1 because they're too bonded to ever sell.
No, you can't. No, can't break that bond.